Well, croeso, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for giving up your really valuable time, because I hope you're all busy booking clients on new tours everywhere. So I only propose to take up about 15 minutes of your time, showing you a few short videos, explaining what I've been doing since I saw you all. And I've missed you all desperately. Tour guides aren't very good at talking on computers. One of the first things I did during lockdown is I'm not very good at sitting still doing nothing. And I knew if I didn't have my lovely international North American groups, but the British would be looking to go on holiday. And so I focused my time on researching a Welsh lady costume and in the online archives of Conwy to develop a series of 1.5 to 2 hours walking tours of my historic town. So I'll just show you a few minutes clip of my Welsh Lady tour, which is available to book for groups as well. I'll switch my mic off. I'll share my screen and switch my mic off so you don't get the echo. If I forget to switch it on again, please let me know. As rich in nutrients as sirloin steak. This tour, I hope to show you what a very special place Conwy is, and I hope to locate you both in time with the history of how we are today, or space geographically, because all towns are a mixture of their history and their geography. First of all, we're standing here on Conwy River Estuary, and Conwy is very much an estuary town. We're not a seaside town like Llandudno, dominated by its waterfront. We're not a river town like Bettws-y-Coed. We are an estuary town, and estuaries are very special places. You've got the nutrients coming down the River Conwy, which starts deep in Snowdonia's mountains, which are over. So hopefully that's given you a little taste of what your clients would get should you be coming to Conwy. And most people actually prefer, and groups certainly, the town tour, especially if you've got headsets, and I have got some which I can include in the price of the tour for up to groups of up to 15. They prefer the town tour to actually the castle tour itself. But during lockdown, the other thing was my mother in her 90s came to live with me. And so I decided, even when things started again, I wouldn't be touring again. And I'm very, very grateful to Visit Wales, who did offer a grant for promotion for new product for incoming groups. Because one of the things I'd done, and again in lockdown, is I've been trying for a long, long time to find a good sheepdog display, because either you get the real authentic farm, which is wonderful, but usually you can't get a big coach up, and when you do get there, there's no toilets for guests and certainly nowhere to have a cup of tea. So I've been working to find a place where it's easy pull in on the A470 for coaches. And I've got a consortium of farmers as well that will bring some sheep and chat to guests. But the Visit Wales grant was for free independent travellers or small groups of up to 30. So I've got 3 tours, and I'll show you 3 minutes video of each, which are priced so that I can give a 20% travel agents discount. And once again, I'll switch off my mic, share my screen, and show you the video of explaining about the tours and then the other 2 tours. A series of tours where you're not just passing through, clicking shots, but you're actually meeting the people, learning about what life in Wales really is. I always regard myself as not just a tourist guide, but as a facilitator, as an introducer, using my contacts so that you get to meet and talk to genuine locals with a passion for what they're doing. The tasty tour starts with a morning spent in the cute little medieval town of Conwy, where we'll not only see the outside of the famous sites like the castle, the town walls, and the smallest house in Britain, but we'll pop into little artisan shops, talking to the owners that are passionate about their produce, and we'll curate ourselves a little basket of stunning sweets and savouries, such as fantastic homemade chocolates and Welsh cheeses, and taste Welsh ales or wine. We'll be visiting a Welsh whisky distillery where they use the peaty water rushing off the mountains to make their own unique smooth whisky, and they also make a variety of gins. We'll have a factory tour and a tasting. Then we'll find somewhere for lunch, and of course we'll have traditional Welsh delicacies. Things like Welsh rarebit, you'll find out what that is, or cawl or lobscouse, very traditional Welsh dishes. And then we'll cross over the magnificent bridges of the Menai Strait, which is a unique body of water, and we'll visit the Salt Coat, where a local family have been producing their very unique brand of sea salt, to see how they make it and to taste their salt and compare it with other varieties of salt. It's a totally fascinating experience. After all that eating, we'll drive through Snowdonia's stunning mountains, stopping for some photo stops. Oh, we might have a Welsh afternoon tea on the way, just in case you're getting peckish, to learn about our traditional baking. And up through the lush Conwy Valley, back to the town of Conwy, where our adventure began 8 hours or so before. A tasty tour lasts 8 or 9 hours and not only includes selecting a curated basket of Welsh produce, but also tastings of food and drink, luxury transport for up to 6 people, a pick-up and delivery back to your hotel in Conwy County, all of our visits to the shops and factories, afternoon tea, and a light Welsh lunch. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. That is for the food tour. Now, that one is not available for groups of bigger than 6, because part of the joy of Conway's little shops and things is they're so small. So even with 6 people, it's a bit crowded, but it is available for the free independent travellers. Of course, all these tours, I priced them to include the transport, but if you're coming with your own transport, then of course I can adjust the prices for that. The second tour out of the 3 I want to show you is a cultural tour, which includes the sheepdog display I was telling you about. So yet again, I'll just share my screen and give you a couple of minutes of video. And all these videos I can supply you so that you can send them to your clients. This is Wales is a fantastic tour, which can be done with a small group of 4 or 6 or a coach of up to 30. And with that, it's a living landscape and cultural experience. We start off with a visit to meet a local farmer whose family had been farming in the valley for generations. It's a private visit. He'll show you how he trains his sheepdogs and demonstrate how quickly they can empty a field. Then we warm up with a cup of coffee and a taste of a traditional Welsh cake. And then, of course, after seeing the sheep, we've got to see what they produce. So we visit one of the only working woolen mills still selling what they produce in their mill today. Then we'll pop across and visit a traditional Welsh chapel. Chapel is very integral to the Welsh way of life. And we'll have a Welsh lesson there because our language is very, very important to us. So I'll teach you a few basic words and tell you a bit about the history of the chapel. Then we'll have some lunch in the pretty mountain resort of Betws-y-Coed, where three rivers meet, and then drive through stunning Snowdonia with mountains on either side with several photo stops, and over the Menai Strait to Mon Mam Cymru, the mother of Wales, the Isle of Anglesey, where we'll visit the station with the long name, and I'll help you practice saying it. And then it's back along the North Wales coast to Conwy, where we started. This tour is a full day tour, about 8 hours long. It can be done in a luxury limousine with up to 6 people or coach with up to 30 people. The price includes pick-up from your Conwy hotel in Llandudno, Conwy or the Valley. There, that's the second one. Again, all of the tours are full day tours taking 8 hours. Some of them include lunch, like the food tour, some don't. But obviously I can supply what's included and we can mix and match or add something in. Now, the last tour is a history tour, though of course with Wales, there's always landscape and my commentary always includes gossip and things like that. So you know the procedure again now. A fantastic tour, if you're a history lover, is Celts and Castles. Wales has a fascinating history of conquests and crossings, and for this tour, not only will you see stunning landscape, we'll be journeying through Snowdonia and Anglesey and back through 4,000 years of history. We'll start with a visit to a Neolithic or New Stone Age burial chamber, where we'll go inside an ancient burial chamber and try and get inside the minds of what the people were doing when they built it, what their life was like. We'll go and see some of the artifacts that archaeologists have dug up from these ancient Celtic people living on the fertile island of Anglesey at Oriel Ynys Môn, which is a fantastic little local museum. We fast forward to the people that replaced the early Celtic tribes and we visit the Roman fort of Saguntium. Again, learning what it was like to be a Roman soldier, banished from warm, comfortable Rome to the cold northwestern islands of Great Britain. The Normans conquered Britain, and Edward I built the magnificent World Heritage Site of Carnarvon Castle. So we will actually visit that, go inside, and I'll take you around and show you the defences and why these castles are World Heritage Sites, and look at the place where the Prince of Wales are invested. Then it's off to contrast and compare into Snowdonia to have a look at one of the earlier Welsh princes' castles. Castles are fantastic to visit because they were always built in places with stunning views. The people who built them, of course, wanted to see if they were going to be attacked. But we can enjoy the photographable instances from the castle of the magnificent mountains surrounding them. And we'll continue driving through those mountains, stopping for maybe a Welsh tea, and then back up the lush Conwy Valley to arrive back in Conwy where we started. This tour is a full day tour, about 8 hours long. It can be done in a luxury limousine with up to 6 people or coach with up to 30 people. The price includes pick-up from your Conwy hotel in Llandudno, Conwy or the Valley. Well, I hope that hasn't taken up too much of your time. What I'll do now is I will stop recording. So if any of you've got any questions, I would be, as always on a tour, delighted to answer them. And I hope I see some of you back again, if not this summer, then next summer anyway. So I'll just stop recording and then I'll pick up questions either in the chat or directly.